Hello, hello. I'm back again with another reading of the Love and Respect Experience by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. Um, Very good book. Something I really recommend. You know what I mean? Very good book. Very helpful to me. You know what I mean? I did smoke that cigarette yesterday. Got a little pissed about something, and I wish I didn't, you know what I mean, because it kind of, clogged the nose up again, the throat up again, but it's some home remedies I know that, you know, it's a process. It may take you some days, it might take you a week, but you're not putting a strain on the inside of your body. See, we need our organs, and pills, they're drugs. You know what I mean? You can get them over the counter, but they're still a drug. It's just that it's a low dosage where the government allows it to be sold over the counter without a prescription. But the end result of it, if you keep running to a pill, you're going to have organ failure. Your liver, your kidney. You got what I'm saying? So tap into your home remedies. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say all of it is successful because it's sometimes I have a headache so bad. I run get me something for a migraine. You know what I mean? I run get a pill for a migraine because sometimes just putting a cold rag on my forehead don't do it. It calms it. Sometimes putting my feet in cold water, it don't instantly take it away, but that pill, that Excedrin migraine, yeah. You know what I mean? Probably in like a minute or two, I'm good again. You know what I mean? But I don't depend on it. I don't make that my go-to. I try my home remedies first. But anywho, hopefully y'all like chapter 11, that read, because I did. You know what I mean? I really did. To back something else up, I want to say. Now, I didn't get up this morning to go get a cigarette. I guess you kind of hear that in my fluent talk without coughing. I went and got some good water. You know what I mean? But let's get on back to this. But I hopefully you liked it, that reading of chapter 11, because I did. You know what I mean? And by now, any of you men, any of you women watching, this is not about bashing my ex-wife. Because see, if you really pay attention, really understand the message I'm giving, I'm explaining to you how I figured this marriage was not going to be fruitful anymore. This marriage had already derailed, and we was trying to, what they call them, train workers that sit on the track, put the little nails in, add the tracks on. You know what I mean? We was trying to mend something that really now one of us wanted to mend. You know what I mean? Because see, sometimes you stay in your relationships because you're too scared to go somewhere else, or you stay in your relationship because of that little piece of finance. I don't care if it's $200. I don't care if it's $50. That $50 helps something in your life to make something right. So sometimes, you know what I mean, you got to think about your heart. You got to think about yourself. You have to think about, is this where I really want to be for the next year, for the next 1 to 5 years? And if you see you have already been excuse me, for some decades, well, for a decade, even a half, even a half a decade, that nothing has gotten better. Do some soul searching. Do some research. Please figure what's wrong with you. We're too busy sometimes trying to figure what's wrong with someone else. Figure what's wrong with you. Fix you. So when the day comes, you stand up and you have your voice, your time to speak. What can be said? What can be said? Something's going to always be said, but is it concrete? Anywho, once again, like, share, comment. This the Nasty Pastor. We're going to get into chapter 12. And for you married couples, for you couples going through some things, you know, it's some daily bread I'm putting out from out this book. I'm kind of catching up. I'm kind of having enough free time to do a lot of things and also reach back, get the prayers from out this book and post them too. So they're uploaded at Only Faith Ministries, you know what I mean? It will always say daily bread. That's what prayer is. You know, your prayer is something you do daily. Your prayer is something that, you know, it's a meal. You know what I mean? It's a meal. You know, because you take a good meal, you eat it. If it's that real, if it's that good meal, then you've been blessed. You wake up in the morning, don't even want no breakfast. You eat some fruit or drink some juice and head on out the door, because it stick with you. Anywho, let's get into chapter 12. Chapter 12 says all about perspective. Man, perspective. And the verse comes from Proverbs 12:16. Fools have short fuses and explode all too quickly. The prudent quietly shrug of insults. Now, I like how they started off, fools. You know what I mean? See, I'm a fool to whom I pray to, but I ain't no fool to you. And yeah, I do. I got a very short fuse to a lot. You know what I mean? But I have no fuse at all to some things that you would say, well, why that person ain't been cursed out? Why he ain't smacked that person? Why that person head still on their shoulder? Because see, some of this stuff is a test. Some of this stuff is to test you in your patience, in your, how to put it? I want to say dignity, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's the right word, but that's the word that popped up in my head. And, you know, it's a true fact. Satan tests you every day, you know what I mean? And it's allowed by whom we pray, you know what I mean? It's allowed. You know, if you ever read the book of Job, I walked that life, but what I didn't do is give up on whom I prayed to. What I didn't do is ask why. What I did, sat back, figured, okay, you're not going to give me unemployment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for another job, which I should have been in my right to get unemployment, but whom I prayed to said, no, you ain't getting that. You got something to do, because your destiny, your road, you got a lot more working in you to do, because there's something else getting ready to happen to you, and you need not to sit down and wait on that unemployment. You got what I'm saying? Because see, I know whom I pray to, my all-seeing now and all my guidance. You know what I mean? I know whom I pray to tap me on my head, wake me up and say, come on, get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, get on up and let's go moving. I know whom I pray to tells me, go on, don't sleep it off. Lay down there a little bit more. The world ain't gonna miss you. Anywho, let's go and get into reading this. In the earlier devotionals, chapter 5, I mentioned the 80-20 ratio and Paul's clear warning that in marriage we will have trouble. Corinthians 1:7-28, if we are to stop the crazy cycle, we must not let the 20%, the irritations and the annoyances we cause one another dominate our thinking and forget about the 80%. All the good things about our marriage, if we fall into the trap, the crazy cycle will start up in no time. Point well taken. But there's another point to be made about 80-20. Not only is it good for stopping the crazy cycle, but it is good for keeping the energizing cycle going strong as we seek to motivate each other toward more love or respect. It's all about perspective. To keep the EC humming, perspective is everything. See, you get that part when he's saying that it keep the energizing cycle strong. See, when I cheated, it was when we was married. And I mean, the ink really wasn't fresh. You know what I mean? That morning I got up, took a shower, walked out that woman's house, turned the corner, got on my knees and prayed because I knew I was wrong. I realized what I'd done. I knew I was wrong. And I, immediately started thinking about, I'm getting ready to lose a good woman for what I done for real. I'm really getting ready to lose a good woman. When I walked in that house, her and the youngest son was on their way out the door, and the look on her face, was, it hurt me that I hurt her. And while they was gone, I'm thinking again, man, when she get back, it's gonna be some mess. I'm not sitting here trying to figure the lie to tell her. You got what I'm saying? Because I already totally lied when I said, she asked me whether I was with another woman. I already said no. You got what I'm saying? I already done, said some other stuff to her. You got what I'm saying? And I won't sit there while she's gone trying to put another lie together to tell her. I was trying to really diffuse it and really let her know, I apologize. This will never happen again. You know what I mean? And my worstest mistake though, cause first I told my mama, when I got to work, I told my mama. Then when I got off the phone with my mama, I told my brother. One of them told it. You got what I'm saying? One of them told it. So years later, years later, the truth, came out. You know what I mean? It was something that she realized, something that indirectly or directly, it came from me. That this is what I done. But I was fighting then, and we talking about this is what, 2011? No, this 2000 and I believe we got married 2009. Yeah, I met her 2006, so we talking about 4 years, 2010. We got married 2010, and you know, my fight to hold on to my marriage really was starting then. To be honest with you, you know, it was something I meant I won't gonna ever do again. I mean, ever do again. I don't care, you know, what the situation is, how it go down. I knew that I was gonna get up and leave. You know, to give you a prime example, I'm down at my aunt's house one day. The next door neighbor, you know, she over there, and my aunt, I'ma just call him her husband. You know what I mean? As long as they been together, you know what I mean? 3 kids together, you know. But the crazy thing, he my cousin. Yeah, he my cousin. You know what I mean? He my cousin through the Smiths. You know, she's my aunt through the Carters. You know, really, I will say Smith, but my grandma, Nana, she didn't marry my uncle, the white dad. You got what I'm saying? See, the white is the oldest, then it's the 3 sisters. You know what I mean? She had the white first, and then she met my granddad, which is Raymond Smith, rest his soul. Had 3 girls by him. But you know, like I said, I started fighting then, for real, for my marriage. I started changing a lot about me then. You know what I mean? Because, oh, what I was saying, let me backtrack. What I was saying, my cousin, you know, was basically like, nah, she like you. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? She just sitting in the floor modeling for me, you know what I mean? I mean, cute thing. Rest her soul too, you know what I mean? Cute little thing, you know what I mean? But I got up and left. I said, Scott, I'm out, man. I'm gone. You know what I mean? I won't let the temptation ever get me again. You know, if I'm in a relationship, that's what I learned. If I'm in a relationship and you sense the woman or the one man around you like you, and you know at that moment you can just come here, sweetheart, and bam, 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 blah, 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 it's best to leave. It's best to leave. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna tell you her name, cause I ain't gonna do that to her. You know what I mean? But I'm glad I didn't. You know, because it's a lot of rumors. You know what I mean? A lot of rumors. You know what I'm saying? She had AIDS. She had HIV. Now it said she died of cancer. But it was a lot of rumors she had HIV, so I'm kind of glad that, well, I ain't gonna say kind of. That's being modest. And I'm gonna just be straightforward. I'm glad I didn't. Because if she would have gave it to me, that means I would have gave it to my wife. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm very happy to say to anybody out here, you know what I mean? The only disease I've ever given a woman is crabs. You got what I'm saying? I've never given them herpes, gonorrhea, syphilis, all that stuff. And I done had gonorrhea twice. You know what I mean? I done had crabs twice. You know, I didn't even know at the time I had crabs, because the woman I had sex with, maybe a day or 2 later, I had sex with my my daughter-in-law. You know what I mean? But let's go and get back into this reading. I recall hearing a story years ago that vividly illustrates this truth. The widow of a farmer, recently remarried to another farmer, invited a group of farmers, wives, for lunch. As the ladies was chatting, the woman's new husband came in from the barnyard and tracked mud across the kitchen floor. All the women were incensed. One of them said, if my husband muddied the floor like that, I'd kill him. The newly married widow just smiled and said, during my first marriage, my husband often muddied the floor and I would have a fit. It caused some pretty tense times for us. After he was killed, his muddy boots sat empty on the porch. How I longed for him to walk through the kitchen in those muddy boots. I wept bitter tears because I had fixated on the mud on the boots instead of the man in the boots. Now that I have another husband in muddy boots, I really don't mind cleaning up the mud. In marriage, irritations happen. We all suffer muddy boots, annoyances we could explode about. The writer of Proverbs could have had the 80-20 ratio in mind when he bluntly called people with a short fuse fools, and the patient ones prudent. Marriage makes all of us sensitive to what we might think are insults at the time. But are they worth ruining the moment or the day or the week? Are they worth bringing the energizing cycle to a scratching halt while the crazy cycle revs its engine? Every day, usually several times, we have a choice. Demand perfection from each other or accept reality. Perfection is impossible. The key to reducing anxiety and anger during imperfect moments is to roll with the punches. In other words, those who accept the 20% of trouble not only enjoy the 80% that is good, but also find a way to deal with the troubling stuff that just doesn't seem to go away. As I said earlier in chapter 5, the 80-20 ratio enables Sarah and me to relax and enjoy the 80% a lot more. You may be wondering, what does Emerson mean by the 20%? Well, husbands Well, husbands won't to talk, and wives will want to talk too much. Husbands will appear insensitive and wives will appear overly sensitive. Wives will criticize and husbands will stonewall. Husbands will want sex on Tuesday night and wives will be too tired. The 20% is everywhere, sort of like the messes tracked in by muddy boots. So although Sarah and I still get upset on occasion, and although we still have less than perfect moments, we think we have learned at least one thing about marriage. Perspective is everything. That's the end of chapter 12. And I want to speak on this last part, right? Because see, the way a lot of things like people have tried to fix the sexual part in people marriages and people relationships by we got date night, we got sex night, we got a calendar, this our night to do the boom boom, you know what I mean? Sex should be spontaneous. Sex should be, you caught in that moment. Just because your wife right there washing the dishes, you rub up on her, kiss her on the neck, you know what I mean, fill up on her. I don't mean the clothes should come off. You got what I'm saying? That don't mean that. If she turned around and curved further, cool. You keep going, you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. You get a little upset at times to hear no. I used to. You know what I mean? I really did. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm a person that has a huge sexual appetite. And ain't no calendar gonna make it right for me. See, I'm a spontaneous person. We could be driving down the street. I might want to put my, especially you got a dress on, I might want to put my head down there and go on, suck on you while you driving. Make a memory on the highway, make a memory on First Street. You got what I'm saying? We could be driving down a back street, like one of these, especially out these counties, these little back streets. They got these little cutoffs leading to a dead end. Go on, turn right there so I can go on, do what we can go on, get in the back seat and do what we do. You feel me? See, I've learned, and I ain't dealt with all women. I ain't dealt with all of them. But I've learned a lot of women is into spontaneous things. It ain't just gotta be sex. Spontaneous stuff. You know what I mean? I've gained a lot just calling a woman up saying, you feel like going to get something to eat? Instead of, what you doing such and such day? Let's go out. You feel me? Because see, if I can reach you by being spontaneous, it lets me know one thing. You feel me? You know what that one thing is, right? It ain't that I'm your only person you're talking to, but you would make time for me in the moment. It doesn't have to be scheduled. You feel me? So what I'm gonna say to y'all, this right here, you know what I mean? I hope those viewing, I hope those following along, receiving the message. Hopefully I'm helping. Hopefully I'm bringing some awareness. And once again, this is not to bash my ex-wife. It's not to bash women, period. It's not to bash men, period. It's to get an understanding at the end of the day. Maybe this can help. Not hurt, not hinder, help. But it's the Nasty Pastor. We just got finished reading chapter 12, the Love and Respect Experience. Like, share, comment. Whatever you can do. Do a remix on the reel. Whatever you can do, help me get it going. You know what I mean? Help the word move. Help this train keep moving. You know what I mean? But love you. Stay up. Stay strong. And stay in the word. I'm out.